Echo Fox, the #1 squad, are definitely a scary opponent.
Let's see what they start off with. Heading into Champion Select, they start to pick apart that Xayah Rakan already. Skarner as well from Echo Fox, and the Tahm Kench Gangplank from Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, Xayah Rakan here, already split up as you said. Olaf as well has really risen up to be kind of the #1 jungle pick nowadays, especially for early game bullying. Not going to be available here for ReignOver. It's a champion that he has a legacy on, in addition to being strong in the current meta.
Absolutely. Azir taken away from Fenix. Can't get to that back line. Stixxay has been playing very well for Counterlogic Gaming lately. As well, those calls from the bot lane from Biofrost in his new position. Kha'Zix, though, for Dardoch. He's been going tanky lately, but back to that killing, back to that Kha'Zix.
I am a huge fan of Kha'Zix, and we got the early insta-lock first pick here from Echo Fox, going with the offensive jungler. In pro play, we've seen it a whole bunch where you'll get the Moby boots as soon as you get the R evolve, so that you can run pretty much across the map and stay invisible most of the time. I really want to see what pressure Dardoch can put out, because he definitely has some strong laners to work with, especially in his solo lanes, and it very well could be a lot of early action in this game.
We'll see what those solo lanes can be protected by. The tracker's knife out. We see Rek'Sai, the Queen of the Xerxai, coming in a little bit more. 10 seconds here for ReignOver to lock this in. And it looks like they take their time to chat it out as Varus and Orianna blind pick on the blue side for Huhi.
Couple of strong blind picks, honestly, you know, from both positions here. Orianna in the mid lane has lost a lot of the super hard counters that people usually think of. And Varus, even though Varus has not been getting a lot of the wins, pretty infamous at this point, actually. One of the most picked AD carries with like a sub 50% win rate, but definitely is popular for a reason. You rush that Rage Blade, he's good at killing tanks in the meta. And we'll see how he can fare early on. As you said, Stixxay has been, you know, a great performer for CLG in their last couple wins.
Doing it very, very good. 15 seconds left. We see the Kog'Maw being locked in here, and around it goes until they land on Ryze for Fenix.
All right, we're going to have matching Rage Blade AD carries then. Kog'Maw got some severe nerfs, but then bumped about, you know, basically split the difference on the nerfs to the W there. So the W damage buffed right back up, and he did recover a decent amount in win rate. So not the you know, early season powerhouse that he once was, but definitely still very offensive mid-game champion. They're going to be rushing for the same item power points.
All right, ban phase 2. A little parity between both squads here, as we seem to be strangling out the top side from the side of Counterlogic Gaming. What does Echo Fox want to direct their attention towards? They already have the AD carry. Biofrost has been a pivotal portion of the team, and it looks like they'll take out a Morgana to start. Yeah,
so we're splitting now between top lane and support. The only two roles not picked up here. Both of them have matched in the first, you know, half of the picks. And we do have some pretty comfortable picks on both sides. You know, ReignOver has gone back to the Sejuani, so he's going to be a little bit more farm-oriented, a little bit more defensive early on. And it looks like continued top lane bans here from Counterlogic Gaming. They do have the red side, so it's possible that they save their last pick for that top side counter pick, but they could also try and rush, you know, for something early here for Darshan, try and go for more of a team fighter, honestly, with what the comp is looking like right now.
Really no focus from Echo Fox towards Darshan. 3 top bans from Counterlogic Gaming towards Huhi. Biofrost gets the worst of it in Champion Select here, it seems. And it looks like they'll try to figure out what to round out the comp with. I've loved that cannon, but it probably won't be a cannon to be locked in. 10 seconds here to wait for a support or a top laner. Cho'Gath has been around a bit now, and he'll be locking back in the top lane for Darshan.
Well, that's definitely a team fighter. That is one of the best team fighting tanks in the game right now. That's why he's picked early a lot. They took out the Shen already. One of the matchups where we have seen it's definitely success on the other side. But now we'll take a look and see if Huni wants to bully this champion. Yesterday, Echo Fox were against an early pick Cho'Gath as well, and Huni went for the Gnar to actually try and get that lane phase lead, try and bully him. And didn't really, you know, make very much headway there. So maybe he'll go and split the difference this time around, but he very well could go for the 1 versus 1.
Yep, takes the Trundle. Looking at the past plays here, they might have thought Darshan would go for the Maokai, then Huni would go back and get the Cho'Gath, but Trundle still works for him. We've seen it on him before. and they're going to lock out. How do you feel about Echo Fox so far in this composition with Chronologic Gaming looking to round out?
It's interesting because Echo Fox are showing some split push. When you have a Kha'Zix on your team, you would greatly benefit from spreading out the map and getting the other people isolated and in those long side lanes. So Echo Fox have decided to draft 2 strong split pushing solo laners in the Trundle and the Ryze. So pretty clear, composition here from Echo Fox and clear goals for themselves. But they also have paired it with a Kog'Maw, which is a very low mobility AD carry. So this is definitely going to be a lot of eyes on the bottom lane of Echo Fox. Their positioning is definitely going to be key. Definitely don't want to get caught out. Meanwhile, CLG, they have that team fight, that 5-on-5, so they're looking a little bit more standard.
They lock in the ability to make plays from multiple positions here. Hit a hook, hit a good rupture, a nice glacial prison, and you are into the fight. Hook City, though, coming out. We see a lot more Thresh. Can't say a lot more Blitzcrank, only Afromove's playing that, but support's taking a bit more engaged back into their hands here. This game happened in week 3, and it was Chronologic Gaming's win, Echo Fox's first loss, as it were. And both of these teams are kind of back and forth right now. We heard Dash talking about CLG's 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 wins. They're on the 3 wins part right now, but they're also meeting Echo Fox, whose second half of the split, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Yeah. And this is supposed to be Echo Fox's win here if everything plays out. So CLG has a tough game ahead of them, and they need those wins at 6 and 9.
People really start to get superstitious when they see patterns like this developing.
Which shoe did you tie first this morning, Kobe?
I have no shoes on right now, man.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Chaos. We're going to get on to the Rift. Echo Fox versus Chronologic Gaming. Let's see who can get the first victory of the day here, Week 8, Day 2.
Yeah, yesterday they started off with a bang. So let's see how the early action goes this time around. I'm very curious to see because, the Trundle pick into the Cho'Gath is definitely one to aim where Huni's looking to exert his will. This is, I am going to get an advantage, and we're not going to let the Cho'Gath scale up and get those tanky items.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's the idea. They want to make use of Dardoch, try and get that R evolve, get him moving around the map, and trying to pick CLG off. But honestly, that has been, throughout CLG's history, one of the types of strategies that they have actually dealt quite well with.
See the coin start from Biofrost. A few changes with the recent changes to support items overall. Makes it a little easier. Plus, you get a lot of poke from Altec and Adrian possibly, so you don't want to be walking up all the time.
Yeah, I do like the Thresh and Varus lane. There's a lot of potential, especially when they're post level 6 for creating plays like you're saying. There's no shortage of crowd control on the CLG lineup. So if they do get a lead, they can definitely push the tempo. They can create plays when they deem it necessary. Definitely going to benefit a lot from grouping up, though.
They'll be meeting on the bot side, too, here as junglers are starting top. Getting a little help from their laners, so both teams will know what those routes are to start things off. We'll see how Huhi and Fenix do as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because you also want to look at the starting items. So no one from Echo Fox has seen the talisman start from ReignOver. It is becoming more and more common because everyone loves doing the Raptors earlier so that you can get your Raptors respawning. But whenever you have that talisman, you can see he's going to the Raptors now, so you can get that life drain on multiple targets. Yeah. Allows you to do that camp. Raptor camp is the most golden experience of those small camps. As far as the rewards for time spent goes.
And first, Sejuani, taking that, you can just focus big Raptor, or is it kind of a small Raptor focus, then big? Or you just go right for the big Raptor first off?
Yeah, you want to focus the big one. You tag all of them with your W, so you can get your life drain going. And you start with your E. And the Permafrost is great at killing big monsters, so you can stack out that passive on the big one, just pop it, and then finish off all of the babies.
So fun. Her first Scuttle run, too, is just like, boop, thanks, Scuttle, dead. Easy.
Permafrost is great for doing the Scuttles because you take off the armor and magic resist at the same time as popping it with the burst damage. That mid lane matchup that you were talking about, though, if we look at the mini-map, is definitely in favor of Fenix right now, as Huni as well on the top side has the push advantage. So this is kind of what we're talking about with the solo lanes, where both solo lane matchups here drafted for Echo Fox, pushing early on and getting control. And now Dardoch is pathing back up to the top, half of the map here. So we'll see if he gets the invade down. Maybe drop off his early trinket ward.
Yep. Seen just a tad by that ward in mid by Huhi. Got it. You second guessed it. You knew it.
The red buff burn. Sometimes be a little tricky, and then you feel really bad when the Scuttle Crab runs away with 10 health. You let him walk away with the burn.
Ooh. Very interesting. Dardoch sees. He might wait for the push from Huni. Perfect timing here to see Huni had Darshan up to his turret. Darshan's going to have to stay for the wave. Huni also sneaks in. Darshan has to say, my lane's gone. You can see ReignOver's hunting a bit towards his turret as well. Saves himself from the pressure, but still loses a bit of jungle.
Yeah, but even so, you know, ReignOver had a more efficient path as far as he was focusing on power clearing from the very beginning here. You know, that red Raptor down to the blue quadrant route was clearing more camps than Dardoch, because Dardoch had to backtrack. Started top, went all the way back up there after only red. Kha'Zix does not want to do Raptors early. He's not like Sejuani, did not start the Talisman, doesn't want to
painful
deal with those, exactly. Too painful. So, you know, ReignOver has the Raptor lead, as a lot of the pro players really do focus on right now.
And, see him pinging out there too.
Yeah, he's pinging out. He wants to get the cooldown, or basically the respawn timer on the enemy Raptors. So he's going to check if it's up right now. Actually goes for the control ward first. And there it is.
Just a quick peek, letting Fenix get a little more towards topside. He doesn't actually have safety from Dardoch up there. They should know that he backs, so this could be a long chase. ReignOver will actually see that there's no jungler, but the Braum prison will just lock him up, and he doesn't want to lose HP for the jungle.
Good play there by Fenix. You just hover to the top side because that's where Dardoch had just invaded. But Raptors, 1 baby stolen, 2 baby stolen.
Nicely done.
Meanwhile,
back and forth games.
Meanwhile, Dardoch looking for some more action.
Might be able to, I was going to say, get himself through the lane there if he just went down around Altec and them, and Adrian jumped forward for a slow. But no go, they pull back. He's going to get the vision cleared on his ReignOver, not be able to push this. Huhi did back there under the pressure of Fenix. 45 to 37 in that lane. He's going to meet the CS back at his turret. Quick hook in for some extra damage, and with that shield down now, they can put him down to about 300 HP. Great trade for CounterLogic Gaming in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, people have been talking about it. Even though EpicSkillshot yesterday, their bottom lane had a pretty good performance. The bottom lane is kind of the question mark there, and we saw Dardoch himself hesitate. They weren't sure. I guess they hadn't you know, correctly tracked the trinket ward drop off, so they weren't sure you know, about any sort of defensive vision for CLG. They also didn't have any vision of ReignOver, so you can always side with being a bit more cautious early on in the game, and it's hard to fault the junglers for that, especially in a situation where if you are Kha'Zix and you jump in, you're overextending for a gank like that, and a Sejuani is in a brush, even though that is, you know, the tank champion. Sejuani counter gank out of a brush can be devastating for a Kha'Zix because the cow control really lands a lot.
Especially if everybody focuses one target, someone's going down. Still so much damage. Huni pushing up again on Dardoch. Sorry, on Darshan, but ReignOver slowly coming up lane.
Yeah, and he was using Dardoch's pressure there. They were trying to force Darshan away from this big minion wave, and they did at least deny the cannon minion. So they're gaining something out of their pressure here. And Huni, you can see in the CS right now, just destroying this matchup. This is, you know, what the Trundle is supposed to do if he's left alone with the Cho'Gath, and especially if you have this Kha'Zix creeping around, as we just saw kind of in the shadows there. So Huni getting up to the Tiamat very early. That's going to help out his wave clear. He can push and look to have a greater effect on the jungler interaction, where top laners with the push like that, we thought a little bit early, but Huni's definitely one to go roam in, ward the enemy jungle camps, and he actually tracks enemy jungler almost as much as Dardoch does.
Same play again, deja vu for the bot side. They get out a little bit safer this time as the Altec stands behind, so he can stand aside. And it looks like top side is clear now. ReignOver's going to do Raptors one more time. Nice job on the timing. This means Huhi may push in, or Huni, sorry, push in one more time. We have fun with names today, apparently. Yeesh.
It was definitely hard at the beginning of the split, especially since we have all the same players, but they all swapped around teams. Right, here we go, though. I mean, it is honestly going according to plan for ReignOver. Because the Sejuani is trying to farm out. He does have the farm lead a little bit over Dardoch, but Dardoch's goal is to help out with the pushing lanes, right? You know, Huni's lead in the 1v1 for the solo top. And then we also have Fenix lead with the Ryze into Orianna in mid lane. And the solo laners are where the power is for EpicSkillshot. Meanwhile, the Sejuani now post level 6. This is where you actually have a possibility of affecting a lane, and he's bottom right now. That's really where CLG has been making it work.
Possibly hit this. Oh, the shield goes up. That means it's just going to be onto Adrian, slowly getting himself out, but it was not Stixxay under the Glacial Fissure. First kill going to Biofrost. Ignite to start things off. But once Huni can get on the map, oh boy.
Patience pays off, Riv. They just get the level 6s for the bottom in addition to ReignOver. So Stixxay has his ultimate. Biofrost, they don't hesitate to go in, and they're able to collect that first blood. Meanwhile, though, solo laners, still huge pressure for Echofox. Huni,
crazy.
Yeah, he's taking the turret in addition to the big farm.
This is the guy they threw three bans at in Champion Select. Got him onto Trundle and still taking that lane 83, 84 to 51. And they've put that pressure on Darshan to keep getting in the jungle too. We'll see this play one more time. It's 1-2, third time's a charm.
Yep. Stixxay nails him with the Varus ultimate right in the face, and Adrian steps in to try and protect his AD carry like a good Braum, but
The pup.
in the process, you're gonna have to sacrifice yourself.
Sometimes it happens. Dardoch getting his evolve on.
Yep, our evolve is done. He's gonna look for the warrior completion first probably, then you upgrade for possible Moby boots. Or, you know, you still can go for, you know, defensive boots if you really want. But especially in pro play, we've seen how valuable, and especially considering this team comp,
Yep.
you know, the mobility and the perma-invis, basically, of those Moby boots is going to be. Huni's always a guy where you assume he's just having fun. You know, on stage, definitely still assume he's having fun. Pops the blast going right directly up and goes for the second plant. Then comes over leisurely walk here to help out his jungler.
Was his time in toying with plants, though, going to get them in trouble? It seems like they've actually been thwarted from taking this now. Ooh, the bite from Darshan. Wait, now they're in the back of the pit. Oh, that's why. Here comes ReignOver. It looks like they're going to be right onto Huni. He's out of mana. Tries to flash out. Bone plate's on, but it's not going to be enough. Ooh. That's when they get themselves in trouble. They stayed way too long and did not respect the roam of Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, it's a no-fun zone. Huni's time in the sun has been cut short. Biofrost comes over. He's the shot caller there, and you can see it. The Thresh, no hesitation. He moves in. They run them off of Rift Herald, throws back the Lantern. He calls over ReignOver. Not only do they get another kill, but CLG also collect the Rift Herald. This is a completely new look. This is honestly a crazy run, and what people who have been longtime fans of CLG might even expect, where they tank the entire beginning of the season, only to make the resurgence at the last possible moment. And now they have a lead, if ever so slightly, on the #1 team. Still down in gold, but they do have the Rift Herald, as well as control of Dragon, and might be getting another objective.
Making it work under pressure and when you least expect it. Walking in here, it's like they bought into the bait. They're like, wait, they're going to take damage from Herald? Oh, wait, there's ReignOver.
Yeah, Biofrost with the Lantern there. They pull in ReignOver. They burst down Huni. He had very little mana. Don't think... oh, he did just barely get off his ult, but he didn't have enough for anything else. We saw Huhi there. Oops. His Orianna ball snapped back. Yeah. So we got a sombrero, one of the classics. But it wasn't a big part of the team fight because Bio and the rest had already taken care of the Echofox members.
But just imagine. 12 minutes in here. About a 500 gold lead toward Echofox, but the map control towards the top side here is kind of allowing them to just cut CLG short in their own jungle. And they have to take it back with 2. Biofrost also on the back side of that, and the vision lets Echofox know things are a bit too dangerous.
And again, pretty much all of the substantial gold lead for Echofox is focused on Huni. It's on this Trundle. He's got almost 1,000 gold lead over Darshan. Just himself on the Trundle with all the CS here, and he has rushed into the Ravenous Hydra. So that is pure split push. You know, you heal right back up off the minion wave, but if you're in a team fight or something like we just saw up there, even a skirmish where you get focused by a couple members at once, and the crowd control locks him down. He couldn't lifesteal anything because he was locked up by Sejuani, and as far as pure 100 to 0 stats, is a bit more risky. So again, Echofox, they want to stick to the game plan of split up the team, have the split push, and make use of Kha'Zix mobility.
Just looking at Darshan, 2 minions, 1 champions for himself that he's been able to devour. Items, only the Tabis right now. He's forced to do everything for Huni. So if he actually meets in a fight with Fenix, that'll sting pretty good, because he's only prioritizing that armor right now. Huhi gets blue, heads back towards the mid lane, and it's been Fenix and Huni having a great time so far. CS is up, Braums are up, and we haven't even really seen Phoenix's pressure on the map just yet.
All right, the invades are coming a bit here. Huni, as we said, pushes in the lane, goes in for deep wards. He's trying to take over jungle control and help out, but hasn't really given them too much in the way of objectives yet.
Hey-ya! Oops!
0 for 2
Second thought.
So far
Second
for
thought.
Huhi. He has blue buff this time, so cooldown reduction, extra cooldown reduction on that ultimate, even though Dardoch did have his leap to get away.
Yep. Push down from Adrian. A little hover here from ReignOver on the top. Biofrost may be able to lantern him in, but a slow rotation. They have eyes on Fenix. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get out anytime soon.
All right, going mid.
Good damage movement. Calls back the command protect, and the realm warp is not used. So a lot of things trying to be activated all over the map. This knowledge says CLG can push towards bot side, and how far can they get with this Rift Herald?
Yeah, the Rift Herald's going to finish it off. Sometimes when you have that many people already pushing them off of the turret, you might want to save the Rift Herald. Now the Rift Herald's
true.
You know, actually going to die at the secondary turret, but then it also has the pressure where you're going to get the dragon. So CLG, they get the Mountain Drake on top of the turret that they're going to get here. Remember, Huni got the first turret bonus already in top side though, so Echo Fox, that was some of the gold that was keeping them in it.
A mountain into an ocean. Dardoch heads top. Beautiful wards on the top side, just gorgeously placed everywhere. Those 2 visions, one in try, one right in front of that red brush, allows Dardoch to be a little antsy here with Huni. Gonna damage on, a rupture hits Huni. They're missing his damage and they can't get another slow onto Dardoch. Or I'm sorry, after Darshan gets out, Dardoch has to pull away.
Yeah, whenever you have one of these type of situations where it's a pushing lane here with Huni complete control in the 1v1, you have to be very careful as CLG. That top side jungle isn't really your top side jungle, as Huni has taken control, and then we have the invisible Kha'Zix swarming around too, but mid lane!
Ooh, nicely done. They get Fenix as he tries to move into a safe spot. Glacial Prison into 3.
Biofrost cuts off the exit, lanterns Huhi over for the kill to finish it off there, and Counter Logic Gaming are looking clean as they move towards mid.
That pressure from Huni now towards the mid lane. Glacial Fissure and everything, including the kitchen sink thrown at them so they can't take the turret down. They actually get out quite healthy.
Another game in a row here too, where CLG have had kind of Darshan just bite the bullet and play the tank top, lose out a bunch in CS, get bullied, but they're making the team plays. And Biofrost, you can see him roaming up river right now, so that's why Fenix was running away, but gets nailed with the shockwave, flashes afterwards over to the Raptor pit rather than you know, trying to flash the initial CC there, and he definitely pays for that one.
That gives him a little time to start stealing Dardoch's resources in the jungle as well. They're pretty even, to say the least, but 3 assists for ReignOver as he's kept himself very busy around the jungle. A righteous glory now for Darshan, could take a team by surprise. And like you said, holding out up there and just waiting for the right moments. The team's carrying. It's a good mentality to have. I can get carried this game.
It feels good on Cho'Gath once, you know, he rushed into the Bramble Vest early, even though that item has been significantly nerfed multiple times. Well, now we might actually have another fight here on display.
Another Bramble Pit party. One of my favorites. Huni getting himself into way too much trouble before the team's able to respond, but actually was it. He gets out with a sliver of health. ReignOver the same. Dardoch goes forward. How far forward can they go, though, as Biofrost denies a bit of damage and Stixxay's just on the wing to add more in. Echo Fox said, we're losing too much ground, and they try to get in. Great steal from Stixxay, I should say secure.
Yeah, Stixxay in the end does get the red buff, but still, Echo Fox get 2 kills. They finally make the play off of their power point here. Huni on the top side, they've been controlling this jungle for a long time. They've been waiting, just waiting to make the play on the top side of the map.
He crushes.
Yep, gonna annihilate that turret. You get a bunch of extra attack speed from the frozen domain there, which is level 4 now on Huni. Soon to be level 5, maxing that 1 second.
You know, like stopwatches so late as well. Not used early, never used at all almost.
Forget about them sometimes, especially now with the later activations.
Seraph's embrace there for Huhi, so I can get itself in a pretty good scuffle on both sides. Missile mass, Chain of Corruption right on to the Kog'Maw. He's gonna go down to Kathy, and Surprise won't be delivering enough. And that's a double kill for Huhi.
Wow, CLG, again, they're pulling the trigger so quickly here. So right after Echo Fox make a big play in the top jungle, CLG strike right back from the bottom side of the map, and they too are gonna get a turret afterwards.
It's either Huni's pressure on the top side or relentless pressure from 4 CLG members to whatever lane they want to go to right now.
This is a much more focused game, honestly, from both teams there. All right, CLG, let's take another look, because this was, I believe, a flash from Stixxay plus the flash from Bio there to follow up. CLG definitely offensive-minded here, but if you have the coordination and they're able to layer this CC, so Altec was unable to get his flash off in between any of those, then it does look good, as you saw there. If there's a half second that they actually hesitate and they mislayer those crowd control abilities and Altec does get the flash off midway through, then everything kind of falls apart, but they're able to pull it off.
And Darshan, with a little bit of extra money, is able to get that Negatron cloak, so he'll last. We were talking about having to build against Huni. He can survive that and a little bit more now. Buddy system of ReignOver and Biofrost. We always see jungle support roaming around. Looks like they might be able to make a play here, or they just wanted the vision. Baron comes up, 20 minutes on that clock. Ocean Drake in 1. We don't even see too much vision around that as Huhi gets top lane pushed up so the team can start to focus the top area of the map.
All right, level 11 for Dardoch. He has his second evolve now for Echo Fox. He has a completed Dustblade of Drakthar as well as the Moby Boot, so they want to try and make one of those pickoff plays, and Huni's still splitting.
Very stark difference from their games. Plus 800 on this one, and looking good so far, but even overall here with the 11-4 Echo Fox, looking to put more wins under their belt towards the end of the season. Remember, it was CLG to give them their first loss, and they're playing well enough again to do it here today. 3 turrets to 2, things seem to be even out here in the middle of the map as Baron has come up.
Top side, ReignOver actually might be looking for a Fenix kill here.
Interesting fight to take. Huhi's obviously got that front end burst coming towards him. And now ReignOver's there for protection. They know he can't get away from Dardoch. He tries to get right in front of ReignOver. Good block by ReignOver as the meat wall. They lock down Fenix with the permafrost. Then they completely take him down with Darshan. CLG once again closes in. Everywhere they come out of the woodwork. And Echo Fox is on the run.
And CLG continuing the chase onto Altec here is going down. But
Adrian makes it out. The dog lags behind. Tail between his legs. Altec's down as well.
Mid lane push for Echo Fox is going strong, but CLG are turning towards the Baron. They want to force them over.
Already down to half HP. It spawned a minute and a half ago. We wondered how quick it would actually be up. Chain of Corruption onto Huni. They want to take the tank down, and they drop it. The anti-tank CLG shells come through quick. 9-3, and Baron secured 22 minutes in by CounterLogic Gaming.
And what a solid game here. It's CounterLogic Gaming who actually make the pickoff on the 1-3-1 team that has Kha'Zix mobility boots. Such a great turn timing there from CounterLogic Gaming. They're looking so much more coordinated now than they did at the beginning of the split. It's actually insane to see this improvement. Take a look at this. Instant turnaround as soon as they have this teleport come in. ReignOver hits Fenix there with the ultimate, and they play around Darshan with the Righteous Glory coming in. Instantly uses his chomp there onto Dardoch. And everyone from Echo Fox that was trying to collapse on that play gets chased down. Now, Altec does get the counter kill here onto ReignOver, so they did take out the jungler. Not only did they take out the jungler, but they had also used the Cho'Gath Beast. So technically, there wasn't the super secure from CLG for the Baron, but because they got all of the kills and they finished and turned the kill onto Huni as well, they were able to secure that Baron and make it look good.
I poisoned you. These names. Huhi with so much damage as well, 4-0 and 3. He didn't have a chomp to come through, and he's doing the same damage as Darshan. They take down top side, and they make quick work of the structures on the map now. First, Mountain Drake was theirs, and the focus with Baron is now the top side. Wait, the kills to come through. They get 3 in a shockwave. How much are they pressuring over? How much are they fighting? It looks like Fox could turn around for a bit of damage here. They don't do this carefully, and CLG waits a little bit longer.
Cannon minion! One more! His work isn't done. He's going for the inhibitor.
Oh, he's
now.
still working. He's on overtime. Gets the inhibitor. Looks like Huni is going to be able to step up to this now, and CLG make their way back to base, taking all the resources on the way out. What a push. And what a last 3.5 minutes by Logic Gaming.
Yeah, it becomes extremely difficult for Echo Fox at this stage, because we talked about how much crowd control CLG drafted in their draft phase. That's why they're so strong in the 5 versus 5 here. They have a lot of options, and you know, picks like Thresh look good if you make them look good, like Biofrost is doing. Constant playmaking here from Biofrost, and we've heard so much about how, you know, he's doing so much more of the shot calling. They look so much more coordinated now. Honestly, Logic Gaming looking stronger than ever for this split, and they're still keeping alive their hopes of playoffs. Dragon is up, and they should be able to collect that as well.
Also having quite a diverse champion pool for himself. Tarek, Braum, Orianna actually had that banned out against him this game in their win against FlyQuest yesterday, 0-2 and 19. So all over with the Black Shields and getting those assists in the fights. 9-3 as they now pressure second tier mid.
The Cannon's getting a lot of help.
Shots.
These aren't just cannon shots.
Dude,
the 5
crowd cheers the cannon on every time.
Darshan's protecting him. Bodyguard.
How many more? There it is. They look to break the base with the second inhibitor now. Bot lane's already pushed out. Nothing they're even worried about. If a fight comes, they'll take it. They'll actually make it. And it's going to be Huni getting into the middle of the fight. Fenix on the backside looking to deliver that DPS machine gun mage damage, but he can't find a target as the rest of the team falls down around him. The backside smothers Echo Fox, and CLG owns the base.
Yep, they're going to kill off the inhibitor. Dardoch doing his best in the backline, though. He takes down 2. Cannon minion still buffed up and going for Nexus turrets.
I don't know how much farther they can go. They're like, wait, you're actually pretty low. We do have minions, but we've been here a little too long. What is this going on over here? Cue the Benny Hill.
A little jungle tango going on. It's very difficult to pick off a Kha'Zix, though. Moby boots Kha'Zix inside the jungle where he's getting his R passive off. Let's take another look at how this fight started, though, because this was the initiation. You know, they start off on Fenix there on the left side for Logic Gaming. Pretty big knockup from Adrian in the middle, and they make CLG retreat a little bit, enough for Dardoch to slip into the backside there. He kills off Huhi and takes down the Orianna, plus finishes Bio there just barely, allowing the Kog'Maw passive to do its work, and now he's trying to take off the Dragon, so he's trying to scrape together some positives here for Echo Fox. Oh, wait. No way he's going to find. Oh, he wards him!
He's not a window shopper. He knows.
Yeah.
Keeps an eye on the map. Quick clear onto Scuttle. Every bit of vision they can get. And now, finally, to the bot lane. There's only one more to go through. Still sub 30 minutes. Logic Gaming against Echo Fox here in the back half of the split, doing some great things.
Yeah, it definitely is one of those upsets. I mean, you just look at the scores up at the top, 11-4. Echo Fox have only lost 4 this entire split so far. But CLG looking to make it number 5 here. They've got level 16 now on Huhi's Orianna. The shockwave is gonna be big, so Echo Fox have to keep their eyes on the ball. Cannon minion on the turret, as is the rest of the team.
Eyes on Stixxay on the bottom. Few concussive blows on him, but does not get locked down. We talked about that bot lane. We talked about where teams are attacking Echo Fox, and it was for Stixxay and Biofrost. ReignOver ganking bot. That's where they are now to take the last turret of the game as Echo Fox goes for broke, possibly starting this fight. Huni doesn't even get to blink in that fight, goes down as Darshan finally uses the stopwatch, and they are just dancing around any engage Echo Fox can put out right now.
Yeah, minions are flooding into the base, CLG knocking at the door, and there's only one inhibitor turret left.
Already down to half. Here comes the TP from Darshan, feeling good about getting himself nice and healthy as they get right back into the fight, trying to clear the top side. It's mayhem in the base for Echo Fox right now with the minions as they all have to stick together here for one final fight. Remember, we just saw Glacial Fissure and most of those ults get used outside the base, so Echo Fox only has the abilities and the summoners left to defend. That's a quick hit, and that could be Fenix going down, steps himself out. Seraph's Embrace keeps him alive. Huhi gets shot. Good eyes by Altec, but how close can he get? Because it will be turned down by CounterLogic Gaming. Adrian can't help that. And it looks like they're gonna get out safely for now, but it is staved off for the moment, and Echo Fox could find some kills as they leave.
All right, ReignOver is gonna be the last one out, but CLG have done their damage. One inhibitor has respawned for Echo Fox on the top side, so they're saying, hey, we got a skill for late, boys. Try and clear out minions.
Put them on the iron lung, man. This is crazy here. 14-6, 29 minutes in, and CLG only backing because they kind of are playing with their food a little bit inside the base.
Well, yeah, Huhi went with a very ambitious flash forward there into the Nexus turrets to try and secure a kill. He was getting a little anxious as far as ending the game.
Oh, well, this is actually big. If they can get themselves jockeyed into a Baron position here. Echo Fox obviously doesn't want to start that themselves, but if they can find a fight with their base kind of no minions in it, they may want to take it again. We've already seen it a few times in that bot lane.
Bio sees his prey.
Uh-oh.
Here comes Daddy.
Oh! One after the other. The crowd control is everywhere.
Stixxay and Biofrost.
There goes the 50-50.
Yep, this is going to be 100% CounterLogic Gaming purple.
What a catch. Everywhere at the right time. Right place, right time, right plays, and everyone's following up as well. And now to the top side. They know that inhib is up. They'll push it down. Around the horn. The last one standing.
All right, 5-man strong, CLG. They've got 20 seconds on Dardoch, but Echo Fox are going to have to pull out another one of those miracle team fights. See if they can actually do it. If you know, there is a big mispositioning from the CLG backline, then that would be it. But CLG pretty much have this victory in their eyes.
And doing it in fantastic fashion. The shockwave goes down. Everyone that can flash in, flashes in. Darshan looking to lock somebody down, gets to chomp in, but it doesn't quickly get the kill. They do follow up with a few more for themselves, though, as the last Nexus turret stands. Dardoch looks to sink his claws in, but cannot find a target. Darshan says, no, my base, this is ours. Pushes out Fenix, and Echo Fox are being torn down in their own base. The base shambles itself. And 31 minutes in, CounterLogic Gaming take the victory over Echo Fox.
They took it all right. CLG just destroy Echo Fox on stage here. Oh my goodness, making the run a reality.
Absolutely a reality. You push forward a bit. Week 9 is Optic and TSM. Seeing as though playing, that's definitely it should be a win over Optic, and TSM could give them a bit of trouble, but if they play like this and they continuously follow up with each other, that's hard to stop.
Yeah, both TSM and Team Liquid keeping a very close eye on CLG because they haven't quite secured the spots yet. And the playoff race is heating up.
Back half of the split, people were kind of wondering, where'd Stixxay go? What's he doing? 7-0-7 again on that. Had good protection, had good plays around the map, and the focus, we wondered again. People are saying, Echo Fox, don't look at Huni. We can ban against him. He's still going to be Huni. We can play towards that bot lane, though, and that's what they did. Hook after hook, quickly onto Adrian, and then the first time ReignOver was there, they were able to solidify that.
That's the biggest thing about this game. You know, Huni had this big lead in topside. They're set up for a 1-3-1, but CLG and specifically Biofrost kept making these proactive plays. So even though there were topside leads for Echo Fox and they were making plays up there, CLG were consistently either around mid lane or roaming up from bottom lane, you know, to make these plays that would rely on landing their crowd control. Stixxay hitting Flash Varus ultimates, Biofrost hitting the hooks, and they are definitely rewarded for those.
What a punchy way to start off today. Okay, we're going to send it over to Obli and CounterLogic Gaming's Void Beast in the top lane.
Thanks, guys. Darshan, congratulations on that victory, taking down the top team in the NALCS for the second time this split and picking up your 4th win in a row. Is it time to start calling this a miracle run?
I mean, it would just be so terrible if we went 6 wins in a row and then we didn't make it into playoffs. So I think the stars are aligning. It's CLG. When you doubt us the most, the craziest things happen. So.
Well, stars are aligned, but in the beginning of the split, you guys were having a little bit of some struggles. Reflecting back on that, what do you think is your biggest improvement that you've made since then?
I just think it was more so that we kind of figured out like how we want to play as a team and kind of just everyone playing to that. There's games that I carried earlier in the split, but right now my role isn't to carry hard to carry every game. I just have to do my role, and everyone's playing phenomenally. So I think that's kind of my biggest improvement is just being a role player, being a tank player, and doing my job.
And maybe for the team as a whole, what do you think of the team morale right now after a huge win like this?
I think it's pretty high. I think that we've definitely made a lot of improvements this split, from losing 6 games in a row, to everyone kind of writing us off saying we're not going to make playoffs to, beating Echo Fox, beating C9, beating TL. And if we go 2-0, fingers crossed that we'll be able to make it into playoffs. So I'm just really proud of everyone on the team for all the hard work that we put in and the coaching staff. And I'm just really looking forward to playoffs.
Well, Darshan, I wish you the best in luck in that. Congratulations again on your win. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Ovely. Straight from Darshan's mouth, the stars are aligning for CLG. I wasn't going to say it at the top of the day, but I did say if they won against Echo Fox, I would. It could be the miracle run here, Jet. It could be the miracle run.
I mean, really, this is why I ranked them so highly in the preseason.
Right,
yeah,
you saw this
clearly
from
and that's why your prediction rating's so low, obviously. It just dropped a little bit more. And once again, the two strengths and weaknesses that Echo Fox were on display. Huni takes a turret pre-10 minutes by himself, but their bot lane's dying to ganks on the other side of the map, which sets up this mid-game where there's a lot of skirmishing going on, but CLG kept coming out ahead.
Yeah, and there was one fight that didn't go their way, which I think was here when Huni teleports in and they're able to kill Darshan early. But aside from this fight and Huni taking a lot of turrets by himself, everything else was going CLG's way. And note the pattern in a lot of these fights. Huni isn't there. So CLG pretty aptly just played around Huni for a lot of this game. At one point, Darshan was down almost 100 CS, even at 25 minutes. But in team fights, the Cho was still greater than the Trundle. So a lot of this did play around their win conditions, right? So much of it was around the bottom lane, and they did keep it simple. 3rd game in a row for Orianna on Huhi, another tank top for Darshan. They had stronger team fighting, and they just protected the cannon minion.
It also helps that Biofrost was popping off on Thresh.
I was going to say, you can't ignore the bot lane.
Yeah, the amount of hooks he hit in team fights, not always hitting the most priority target, but always presenting someone for his team to attack down. And some of these fights at the end were still very close. We were remarking the fact that they had 2 inhibs down. It was about a 5K gold lead, but they still had all the map pressure in their favor. They grabbed the Barons, and then eventually it ends up where they're trying to defend on the turret, and Biofrost flashes in to be his own ball delivery system.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about being a playmaker and the shot caller for your team. On Thresh, ball me. I'm going in.
Going in the only way I know how. I like it. I mean, overall, CLG looking impressive in this win. Echo Fox, though, I mean, like we said, it continued struggles out of the squad on the back half of the split. So much so that they're now technically a half a game behind C9 in the standings and in danger in some senses of losing their first round bye with 2 games left to play in the season.
That's crazy, right? I mean, and this is also, right, when we're talking about Echo Fox, the start of the year was all about, well, what'll happen when they lose a few games? Not much happened when they had their first few losses, but now that they have had an 0-2 week against Clutch and CLG, both teams they were expecting to beat, weren't able to immediately bounce back, didn't bounce back from their questionable week last week. Now is that time where you're testing that team synergy.
I mean, we saw Huni there after the game. Head in hands, devastated from the loss here. In a position where he, had gotten so far ahead, had built so many individual advantages in his lane, and yet not able to secure the victory. This is a guy that was on stage for the World Finals.
Yep.
For the World Finals, and now he's losing to a team well below him in the standings in the North American LCS. I mean, I got I can only imagine what's going on in his head. And again, the question is, how will EchoFox, both Huni and the rest of the team, respond to these losses and kind of reorganize themselves moving into the postseason?
It's really hard because, I mean, Huni is still playing very well, but he's not playing immaculately. Like in the Gnar game yesterday, he jumped in once as mini Gnar, got himself killed around Baron. This time died in the front line a couple of times, getting CC'd up as Trundle, not as tanky despite how far ahead he was. So it's very scary for EchoFox. And CLG, on the other hand, like you kind of have to tip your cap to them because their fan base was calling for Tony's head not too long ago. And it's like they completely changed their playstyle from the start of the season, carries top, roaming top.
I want to point something else out. It was just a week or two ago that Joel started predicting CLG for every game. And they've been on hot streak since then. But let's take a look. If they are going to make the miracle run, Jath, these are their next 2 opponents in Week 9, Optic Gaming, TSM. How likely is this to happen?
Well, I'm going to keep saying it's not likely, Dash. It is still not super likely. But Optic Gaming, they lost to them before. With the win streak, you expect them to win that, but also best of ones, they're fickle, man. Like, CLG probably, in all likelihood, should have lost to FlyQuest yesterday, and we wouldn't even be having this discussion, but this was the most solid win they've had against EchoFox, so now it's a real possibility. And Darshan mentioned it in his interview as well. It is possible they go 9-9 and still don't make it.
Right.
So
there's no guarantee that even winning out gets them in. They're still reliant on some other stuff.
Exactly. So what happens, though? They're going to be watching that TSM Cloud9 game very closely. Because if TSM lose to Cloud9, then if CLG win every game, they'd actually beat TSM for that spot.
Boom.
And also, you got to think Cloud9's pretty motivated now that they have a chance at the #1 seed because EchoFox just lost.
I mean, really, the whole buy for playing, race has been blown completely open.
Yeah,
now you even got
you
got teams like Clutch who are now in the discussion there, and we'll just have to see how that shakes out. Now up next, we've got FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. Meet us back here for Game 2 after the break.